Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to the Jack Gatecliff Arena, home for Game 1, the Sutherland Cup Round Robin Series. Tonight's game featuring the visiting London Nationals and the hometown St. Catharines Falcons. We're getting ready for the face-off. And it looks like London's going to start with Monahan, West, and Sims on defense. And the puck is dropped. It goes back into the St. Catharines zone. They're fighting for it. It goes in behind. Kenny Bradford has the puck behind his own net. He puts it up to Hovhanessian. They're fighting for it. Bradford has it behind the net again. He's fighting with Thomas Mancella of the Nationals. Hovhanessian has the puck now across the blue line. Sends it out to Matt Mello. Mello goes behind the net. And now the puck is deep in the London zone, goes around the boards. London's bringing it out. They come across the blue line. Number 17, Jonathan Sims. Now, Johnson Andrews has the puck. He got in behind, pass it back to Luke Curran. They're fighting for it along the boards. Both teams seem a little tentative right now. London just fired the puck out. St. Catharines puts it back in. Here comes London breaking out. The play's broken up by Luke Curran. Curran's got it along the boards. It's taken away by London. They've got it behind their own net. They're coming out. Passed up to Bryden. Bryden, pass goes past Hopkins. It's taken over. Back down deep into the London zone. Jacobs Chuck takes his man into the boards. They're fighting for it back there. Looks like the referees got trapped in between them. Mello has it. Oh, he tries to get it out front. Tyler Braden, he shoots it out, but it's shot right back into the zone. Plays a little chippy right now. Okay, we got a face-off. Looks like the puck went into the St. Catharines bench. This game is being brought to you by Art Pro HD and the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League. Face-off to the right of the London goalie, Kyle Woodhouse. And it goes in on the London goaltender, Taylor Edwards, and he smothers it. We're going to have another face-off in the London zone to the right of the goalie. Daniel Cameron and Matt Mello face off. The puck goes behind the London net. It's taken by number 9, Noah Schwartz. Schwartz puts it up front into the St. Catharines zone, only to be fired out again. Oh, a big collision. A big hit by number 9, Noah Schwartz, London's leading scorer at center ice. And the puck goes back into the St. Catharines Falcons end. They're coming out with it over the blue line. It's Dan McEachern. He fires it in. And the goalie, Taylor Edwards, smothers it one more time. Again, we've got a face-off in the London zone.
Lucky number 2131. 2131.
Looks like Jesse Miller will be facing off against number 44, Derek Tataschuk. Tataschuk wins the draw. He passes up to Monahan. Monahan fires it over the blue line. It goes in behind the St. Catharines goal where Brad Pope grabs the puck. He puts it on to the far boards. They fight for it. There's a shot on goal. I believe that's the first shot for London. Stopped by Brad Pope. Now in back with Cody Quick. Cody Quick moves it along the boards. They're fighting for it. He's got it again. Quick passes it over to Kenny Bradford. Bradford passes it up to the blue line. And it's fired in behind the London net. Aaron Taylor fighting for it in there with number 10, Thomas Mancella. It comes out, cuts over the blue line. And it's fired in wide of the goal. St. Catharines takes over. It's Aaron Taylor. And Aaron Taylor fires the puck in on Taylor Edwards. And we've got another face-off in the London zone. This time to the left of the goaltender. Face-off Johnson Andrews. Okay, Johnson Andrews has been waved out of the face-off circle. Ben Dubois steps in. From the face-off, it's number 25, Clark West. It comes over back to the St. Catharines blue line. Now Dubois has it. Oh, he slammed it along the boards. And it looks like we're going to have our first penalty of the game. Going up, number 10 of the London Nationals, Thomas Mancella is going off. He's going to get 2 minutes for boarding. So the St. Catharines Falcons will have their first power play of the series. Dubois wins the face-off. He gets it back to the point to Bradford. Bradford has it again. He slides it down to the right wing. Goes in behind the London net. London's got it. They fire it back, and Johnson Andrews has the puck. Andrews back to Bradford. Bradford back to Andrews. They slide it back and forth. Once more into the center of the ice area. Here comes the shot from the point, and big save. They fight for Bradford, holds the puck in at the blue line. Somebody's got a broken stick down there. St. Catharines is moving around down low. There's a shot on goal. The goalie goes behind the net. Dubois has it. Dubois over to Andrews, back to Bradford. Bradford from the point, he shoots. Oh, another save. Great save by Taylor Edwards. Back to Bradford at the point again. Here comes the shot. Oh, another glove save. That's 2 big saves by Taylor Edwards of the London Nationals. We have 1 minute and 11 seconds left in the penalty. We played 4 minutes and 19 seconds of the first period. Taking the face-off for the St. Catharines Falcons is Matt Millow. Millow, Jacob Chuck chases in back. Luke Karam has it along the boards. They fight for it. It's moved back into the center ice area, and the London Nationals, number 9, Noah Schwartz, fires it back into the St. Catharines zone. St. Catharines starting out behind their own net. They're getting organized. They come out on the... It's a pass up to Riley Jacobs-Chuck. Jacobs-Chuck crosses the blue line. He passes it over to Mello. Mello puts it in behind the net. Back to Mello. Back to the point to number 4, Broderick Kelly. Kelly slides it over. Back to Kelly. They're moving it back. They move it down low. It goes in behind the net. Mello has it in the corner. He fires it behind the net to number 91, Luke Karam. Karam comes around back. He's got the puck. Over to Jacobs-Chuck, back to the point. Oh, the shot goes up. Noah Schwartz blocks another shot. He didn't get it out though. Puck goes, there's a race for the puck, and London gets it out to the center ice area where Kelly takes over. Kelly's across center, crosses the blue line, breaks it in, passes back to Karam. Karam to Mello. Oh, no shot on goal. Kelly fires it in. Now London has the puck in the center ice area. Schwartz has it. Schwartz slides it over to Kenny Bradford, breaks it. Oh, my goodness, what a shot by Bradford. Goes over top of the net. Now the puck's down low. We got Kyle Woodhouse. They're moving it along the board. Goes into the center ice. And it's out across the blue line. Now the puck goes down into the St. Catharines end. Brad Pope plays it around the corner. St. Catharines comes out over their own blue line. And it's London's turn to try. Here comes number 19, Tyler Bryden. Bryden passes over to number 24. Paul Hopkins. Hopkins centers the puck. They're in behind the net now. Puck's out front. Oh, and St. Catharines clears the puck into the center ice area, and it looks like St. Catharines is going for a change. West for the London Nationals has the puck now. Back in his own, deep in his own end. Puck comes out over the blue line, and Kenny Bradford fires it right back in on goal on Taylor Edwards. It's back to the center ice area. Bradford loses it. Oh, only to be taken away by Dubois. Dubois up to Jansen Andrews. Andrews is knocked off the puck. And there's a shot goes over top and off the glass by number 19, Tyler Bryden. We'll have a face-off this time to the left of Brad Pope, the St. Catharines goaltender.
Lucky number 2103. 2103.
Okay, Daniel Cameron loses the draw to Johnson Andrews. It goes around back. Hovhannissian misses it. London shoots it in. Oh! And London just missed a glorious opportunity. Number 6, Jimmy Sheehan managed to get his stick out there and deflect the puck away. Now it's down in the London zone. Schwartz just missed the puck. Pass, St. Catharines coming out of their own end. And the play's a little chippy right now. It's going back and forth mostly in the neutral zone. Here's a chance for London. They're deep. Schwartz has the puck. Schwartz shoots. Oh, it's deflected by one of St. Catharines players. Back to the point again. Schwartz has it one more time. Another shot deflected wide by London. Oh! Schwartz just missed getting to the open side. St. Catharines now gets the puck over. That is shot in by Spencer DeWolf. And now we've got another penalty being called. It looks like London's taking another penalty. It'll be for slashing. And it looks like, again, number 10, Thomas Manchella, goes off for 2 minutes for slashing at the 8:02 mark of the first period. St. Catharines now. Bradford over to Sheehan. Sheehan slides it back to Bradford. Bradford down low to Johnson Andrew. Jacob Chuck works his way to the front of the net. Sheehan has the puck at the point. Back to Bradford. Bradford shoots. Oh, just misses. Jacobs Chuck just off to the side of the net, failed to deflect it. Mello's down there working low. Puck goes back to Bradford at the point. Bradford over to Jacobs Chuck. Jacobs Chuck shot. Big save again. Taylor Edwards looks very sharp here in the first period. Now Bradford has it behind his own net. St. Catharines comes out over center ice. It's Ben Dubois. Dubois got it deep in the London zone. Goes back to Johnson Andrews. He's at the top of the circle. To Dubois, back to Andrews. Back to Dubois. Dubois got it at the top of the circle. Over to Kenny Bradford. Back to Dubois. Actually, Curtis Longland. Sheehan. Sheehan has it at the point. Slides it into Dubois. Shoots. Oh! Big save. Puck's loose. The backhander scores. Johnson Andrews. The power play clicks for the St. Catharines Falcons as they score the first goal in the opening game of the round robin. Johnson Andrews on a backhander and scramble in front of the London net. Goalie Taylor Edwards had no chance. Okay, puck's dropped to center ice, goes off the glass. There's a big hit by Lombardi. Puck goes in behind the St. Catharines zone. And it's Cody Quick. Quick puts it along the boards. It comes out front. Oh, looks like we're going to have another penalty. Andy Sturts was just... Sturts was taken down. It looks like London's going off for tripping this time. We have another penalty At the 9:42 mark of the first period, St. Catharines will go on the power play once again. They can ill afford to go down 2-0 early to this Falcon team.
St. Catharines will go power play goal with the 92nd scoring number 89, Ben Dubois.
Well, we got a correction on that goal. They're giving it to Ben Dubois.
And number 71, Curtis Longland.
From Sheehan and Longland.
9th power play goal, 9:19. Dubois, Sheehan, Longland.
So
9 minutes, 17 seconds.
Okay, Andrews has it deep in the corner. Back to Sheehan at the point. Sheehan's got it. He slides it over to Bradford. Bradford back down low. To the top of the circle to Johnson Andrews. Andrews fighting for it there with number 2, Jake Monahan. Andrews comes up with it. Oh, he passes it back to Bradford. Misses the pass at the point. Sheehan has to go all the way back into his own zone, where Brad Pope plays it over to Kenny Bradford. Here comes Kenny Bradford out to Matt Mello. Mello across the line. He slides it over to Luke Karam. Karam's got it at the top of the circle. Passes it back to the point to Dan McEachern. McEachern, he works it. Oh, another save. And the puck comes out over the blue line in the center ice area. Here we go. McEachern fires it back in again. Comes around the side of the boards. Karam misses it. McEachern holds it in. Now we got Broderick Kelly playing the point for the Falcons. Oh, puck goes in, rolls it on goal harmlessly as goalie Taylor Edwards covers up, and we'll have a face-off again in the London zone. Shots so far in the first period by the hometown St. Catharines Falcons, 13 by the visitors, just 6. However, this is the third power play St. Catharines has had. Okay, puck goes down to the point to Kelly. Kelly fires it in behind the net. It goes to Jesse Miller. Miller works his way in. He goes back behind the net. Looks like he's going to send it back to the point. Goes to Kelly. Kelly back into Miller. And it's taken away by London and fired down behind the St. Catharines goal. Now McEachern has the puck. McEachern works his way out. He's up to Jesse Miller, who crosses the blue line. Miller backhands it deep into the London zone. They're fighting for it at the top of the circle. It looks like Spencer DeWolf. He had it taken away. And the puck stolen by London and fired deep in behind the St. Catharines net. McEachern chips the puck up to the blue line, where it's taken by number 9, Kyle Woodhouse. Woodhouse fires it in, goes in behind the net. Andrew Derigo works his way in there. Oh, and they just miss it. Now the London fans are upset. They feel a penalty should have been called on the St. Catharines player, as one of the London players looked to be tripped in front of the goal. Now we got Woodhouse fighting in the corner. He comes out with London, Tyler Bryden. Bryden works his way over, passes to number 24, Paul Hopkins. St. Catharines fires it back down into the London zone, where it's taken by number 41, Billy Easner. St. Catharines shoots the puck in the London zone. It goes off of number 8, Greg Steger, so there'll be no icing. And now London shoots the puck down in the St. Catharines zone. We've got an icing. We'll have another face-off deep in the London zone, just to the left of the London goaltender. Okay, we've got 6:56 left to go in the first period. Shot from the point. Bradford fires it in. It goes behind the net, comes off the boards, back outside the London goal. That's center ice. And Ben Dubois has it. Dubois comes over his own blue line, crosses center, and fires it deep in behind the London net. London goalie plays it up along the boards. It's held in there. Kenny Bradford takes a hit and gets the puck into the London end once again. It's Hovhannisyan fighting for it, taken away by London, and they just shoot it out into the neutral zone, where it's fired back in. And London's making changes. Puck behind the St. Catharines goal. Bradford, he loses it. It's stolen by London, but Pope chips it up to his defenseman. Now Johnson Andrews goes over the blue line. He crosses, he shoots the puck, just to the right-hand side of the goal. Andrews again makes contact down deep. They're fighting for the puck in the corner. Him and Mello. And London comes up with it. London, number 10, Thomas Manchella. He fires it in, and St. Catharines comes out once again. It's Mello. Jacob Chuck chips it in. And it's Luke Karam. Karam's got the puck to Jacob Chuck. Karam tries to chip it inside the goal. He's got his pad out there. Now the puck goes back to the point. It's fired in. Well, the London faithful are happy. The referee's arms in the air, and we've got our first penalty to the St. Catharines Falcons. So London will have their chance to go on the power play as number 14, Riley Jacobs-Chuck, takes a tripping penalty at 14:33 of the first period. Now London's got their leading scorer, Noah Schwartz, taking the face-off. Out there with 96, Aaron Darts. Puck's in behind the St. Catharines goal. It comes back to the point. It's over to Darts. Darts at the point, shoots! Pope gets the same score! I'm not sure, but it looked like number 19. Tyler Braden may have got a piece of that one. Nevertheless, just like that, we're tied 1-1 here in the first period. It took all of 15 seconds for the London power play to connect and tie this game at 1. Now we've got Miller and Totzachuk face off. It goes back into the London zone. And now Lombardi fires it down into the St. Catharines end where it's taken by Bradford. Bradford! Kenny Bradford is down. Bradford is still down behind the St. Catharines goal, and the referee's got his arm up. Number 27, Ian McDonald of the London Nationals, being escorted to the penalty box, and we'll see just what the call is in a minute. Kenny Bradford being attended to by the trainer. St. Catharines could ill afford to lose their captain and leading defenseman. Bradford has been a all-star through and through. He's being helped off the ice. We'll have to see what the call is. Well, Bradford is on his way to the St. Catharines dressing room. Hopefully it's nothing serious. That would be a severe blow to the Falcons' chances if they were to lose their all-star defenseman and captain, Kenny Bradford. He quarterbacks the power play, kills penalties, he does it all, and he's a leader in the dressing room. Well, it's a 2-minute penalty. McDonald gets a 2-minute boarding penalty. And now the play is deep in the London zone. They fire it back out, and number 17, Jonathan Sims, puts it in behind the St. Catharines goal. St. Catharines coming out of their own end. It looks like Ben Dubois. Dubois got it. He circles around puts it in behind the net to Curtis Longland. Longland fighting for it back there. He puts it back to Dubois. Dubois has it. Stops at the top of the circle. Looks like he's going to shoot. He fires one in, and the save is made, and the puck comes back out, and it goes into the St. Catharines zone. Curtis Longland comes over the circuit, goes in behind the net. Longland working his way around, comes back along the boards, passes it back to the D, back to Longland. Longland works his way to the top of the circle, shoots, and he misses the net. Shoots high and wide, and the puck goes all the way back down to the St. Catharines zone where Brad Pope has it. Pope being watched by number 14, Daniel Cameron. Oh, Cameron almost stole it. That was a close call for the Falcons there. Schwartz working his way down low against Jacobschuk. They fight for it in the corner. Mello gives Schwartz a shot. Now the puck's taken by McEachern. McEachern over to Jacobschuk. He misses it. He misplays it. Now he's got it behind the net. Jacobschuk fights for it along the boards. Luke Karam and London. Clark West just fires it right back into the St. Catharines zone. St. Catharines trying to get organized on the power play now. They're coming out, pass up over the blue line. It goes to Andrew Derego. Derego around the boards to Karam. Karam misses it. It looks like Mello's got it. Mello fighting with it, held in by Bradley Kelly, and he scored! And just like that, the St. Catharines Falcons have the lead. It's now 2-1 with 2:47 left to go in the first period. We've got the Western Conference champion London Nationals and the St. Catharines Falcons in a 2-1 hockey game late in the first period. Penalties have turned out to be very costly. All 3 goals of the game have been power play goals. Now Hovhannissian has it along the boards. It's fired around back behind the St. Catharines goal, where it's brought up by Sheehan. Sheehan slides the puck. He comes over the blue line. Sheehan crosses the blue line. Puts it up front. Oh! Another great save by Edwards. Puck in behind the London goal. Woodhouse. Woodhouse slides it over. Sheehan's got it at the point. Sheehan just dumps it in deep. Back behind the goal to Woodhouse. Woodhouse to Hovhannissian. Hovhannissian fighting for it. And Andy Sturtz, the Golden Horseshoe Rookie of the Year, he loses the battle, and it comes to number 19, Tyler Bryden. Bryden sends it up to number 96, Aaron Darts. Darts puts it in on goal, and Pope hangs on to it. With 1:48 to go, we'll have a face-off deep in the St. Catharines zone. Once again, folks, this game is being brought to you by Art Pro HD and the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League. Face-off now just to the right of Brad Pope, the St. Catharines goalie. Daniel Cameron just puts it in, and he shovels it towards the St. Catharines goal. We're going to have to do it all over again. One more time, it's Cameron and Johnson Andrews facing off deep in the St. Catharines zone. Cameron shovels it in deep, and St. Catharines picks up the puck. Dubois to Andrews. Andrews over the far side. Oh, another nice save. And here comes London. Schwartz over the line. Goes off the defense in behind the net. And Dubois has it. Well, we got an interference penalty being called now. It looks like the London Nationals will take their second turn on the power play. Penalties so far have been costly. All 3 goals have been scored on the power play, and now for the St. Catharines Falcons, Cody Quick goes off for interference with 1:21 to go in the first period. London looking to tie it up. It's deep in the St. Catharines zone. It comes back to the point. It's shoveled over to Darts. Darts has it. He looks around. He puts it back over to Monahan. Monahan puts it back to the point to Monahan. Monahan over to Darts. Darts has it. He fires it in just left of the goalie. And it looks like that one was tipped up into the net.
23, Cody Quick. 2 minutes for interference. Time of penalty, 18:39. That's Quick for interference.
Shots on goal so far in the first period. By the London Nationals 9, by the St. Catharines Falcons 18. Face off just outside the St. Catharines blue line. London wins the draw. It's Cameron. Cameron fires it deep into the St. Catharines zone. It goes behind the net. And Derego has it. Derego up to Johnson Andrews. Andrews, he passed. Spencer DeWolf tried to take it in on his own. And here comes London out of their own zone. They cross the blue line. Passed up to Cameron. Cameron down deep, goes behind the net, comes back to the point. Schwartz misses it, and it goes all the way back to the London zone with 28 seconds left to go in the first period. Here comes London out one more time. Pass over to Schwartz. Schwartz just fires it in behind the St. Catharines zone. Taken over by St. Catharines. Oh! And it comes outside the blue line. And here comes Luke Karam. Karam in on goal. One man back, he scores! Short-handed goal. Luke Karam, a backhander. What a beautiful goal. He backhands that puck just over the shoulder of Kelly Taylor. Taylor Edwards. So on a short-handed goal, the St. Catharines Falcons now lead 3-1. Beautiful goal by Luke Karam. Puck goes back into the London zone. They've got enough time for maybe one last shot out of their own. They're just going to kill off the clock. And at the end of the first period, the St. Catharines Falcons lead the London Nationals by a score of 3-1. We're back here for the start of the second period. At the end of one period of play, the St. Catharines Falcons lead the London Nationals by a score of 3-1. London will start the second period with 39 seconds left on the power play. So far, they've got one power play goal. And St. Catharines has scored a short-handed goal on this very power play. Shots on goal in the first period by London 9, by St. Catharines 20. So I'm sure London's looking to get a few more shots on goal here in the second. Schwartz, Cameron, and Lombardi up front for London. On the point, it's Aaron Darch and Jake Monahan. St. Catharines will start killing the penalty with Luke Karam. And Kyle Woodhouse will take the face-off. Andrew DeRigo back on defense. The clock is set, we're ready to go, and here we go. Period number 2, Sutherland Cup round robin. Puck goes down deep behind the London goal. And Cameron slides the puck over to the far side. They fight for it in back. Derigo follows his man. Puck comes back to the point to Monahan. Monahan, oh, he loses it, comes out over the blue line. St. Catharines has it in their own end. London clears the zone. And it goes back to behind the goal. London bringing it out. They got the penalty has now come to an end. Teams are at full strength. Monahan shoots it in, and it goes off Dubois' stick up into the netting. We'll have a face-off deep in the St. Catharines zone. Teams are now changing their lines. We got Menicella taking the face-off. And the puck, Menicella looked like he might have got hit with a high stick. Oh! Menicella fires the puck in, and Pope, what a save. He just saw that at the last second. He got his glove on it, smothered it, and we're going to have another face-off deep in the St. Catharines zone. On the ice for St. Catharines, we've got Johnson Andrews. Now from the face-off, oh! It looks like Dubois is going to get a cross-checking penalty. And Manicella's going off as well, so the teams will remain at even strength. Manicella for London, Dubois for St. Catharines, each go off for 2 minutes. Face-off once again in the St. Catharines zone. Johnson Andrews will take the face-off against number 14, Daniel Cameron. And now we've got a hooking penalty call. It looks like St. Catharines, number 72, Johnson Andrews, is going to the box for hooking right off the face-off. So once again, London will go on the power play. We've only played 58 seconds of the second period. London trying to set it up in the St. Catharines zone. It goes down low. Puck goes back to the point to Monahan. Monahan, he slides it over to Darch. Darch shoots it in deep, and it looks like Woodhouse is going to clear the puck. It goes out over the blue line. Now we have a race for the puck. Monahan and Hovhannissian. Hovhannissian takes the puck off him, goes around the circle. He's dragging the puck, and he goes down. The crowd wants a penalty, but none being called. They fight. Okay, the puck's contact with a high stick, so the face-off will be near the London blue line with 1:21 to go in the London power play. Okay, puck's back in the London zone. Lombardi for London fires it in behind the net. And just like that, Mello takes it and fires it back down the London goal. Goalie Taylor Edwards, he leaves the puck back there for Lombardi. The Nationals captain, he passes it up to Shikelshoek. It goes in deep. Lombardi has it at the point. He puts it in. Oh, shot on goal, and Brad Pope makes the save. We'll have another face-off just to the left of the goalie in the St. Catharines zone. 45 seconds left on the power play. We've played 2 minutes and 13 seconds in the second period. St. Catharines Falcons lead the London Nationals by a score of 3-1. Lombardi takes the draw, wins the face-off for London, goes back to the point to Monahan. Monahan puts it in deep to Schwartz. Schwartz in behind the net, back to Schwartz. Schwartz back to the point to Darch. Darch shoots the puck. It goes off the St. Catharines defense and in along the boards. And it looks like Woodhouse fighting with Schwartz. London has the puck back to Darch at the point. Darch slides it in deep. Oh, Schwartz takes 3 whacks at it. London's leading scorer, number 9, Noah Schwartz, had about 3 chances point blank with Brad Pope, and Pope holds his ground. We've got 15 seconds left in the penalty to Johnson Andrews of the St. Catharines Falcons. Face off in the zone, Cameron for London, and St. Catharines wins the draw. Puck comes out over to the center ice line. London has it. Bryden passes it, it's taken away. Curtis Longland steals it, goes in and goal, takes a shot. Stopped by the goalie, and London comes back across the blue line. They're up over center, cross into the St. Catharines zone. They play it in deep, and now it's Dorigo. Dorigo for St. Catharines in behind the goal. Works his way out. Shot in on goal. Save made by Taylor Edwards. Okay, St. Catharines in their own end, up over center. Johnson Andrews passes it off to Curtis Longland. Longland has it down in the corner behind the London net. London takes over, comes out over their own blue line. And it's Shikelshoek in behind the goal. Hopkins fighting for it. And now St. Catharines takes over, comes out over their own end. Puck goes just wide of the goal. Back to the point. Spencer DeWolf's in behind the London goal fighting for it. And number 27, Ian McDonald, comes out for London. Oh, the puck goes off the clock. We'll have a face-off back in the London zone. McDonald cleared that puck up a little bit too high, went off the clock. Both teams changing.
2-5-6-6.
Derek Tadashuk, face off for London. He wins the draw. Over to Jonathan Sims. Sims passes it up. Oh, we got it offside. Shots on goal here in the so far in the game by London 12, by St. Catharines 23. Now, Derek Tadashuk will face off against Matt Mello. Mello wins the draw. Oh, it looks like we've got another penalty coming here. I'm not sure who's getting it. It's for slashing. And by the looks of it, the St. Catharines Falcons, number 6, Jimmy Sheehan, goes off for slashing. At 4:23 of the second period, London goes back on the power play. All four goals so far have been scored by special teams. 3 on the power play, 1 shorthanded. I'm sure London's looking to cash in on another one. Okay, the puck's dropped, goes in deep. Johnson Andrews chases in behind the London goal. Cameron takes the puck and he passes it up. Darts fires it all the way in on goal. Brad Pope takes it, and Brad Pope fires it all the way down to the other end. Sends London back regrouping. Darch has it now behind his own goal. He's coming out. Darch slides it over to Lombardi. Lombardi works his way back into his own zone, back to Schwartz. Schwartz works his way in behind his own net. St. Catharines doing a pretty good job of hemming them in their own end here on the power play. Now Lombardi fires it in behind the St. Catharines goal. Brad Pope's back there with it. And it looks like we've got an offside being called. Exactly 1 minute left in the St. Catharines penalty to Sheehan. Face off just outside the St. Catharines blue line. Lombardi has it. He fires it deep into the St. Catharines zone. Goes behind the net where Pope leaves it there. Puck is fired out and back down into the London end. And Hovhannissian giving chase on Lombardi. Lombardi manages to shoot up along the corner. Again, St. Catharines breaks up the play. London having trouble getting organized on this power play. Here they come again as Schinkelschott. He's got the puck. He slides it back. It goes back to Clark West. West slides it over to the point to Monahan. Monahan back to West. West shoots it. It's just tipped wide of the St. Catharines goal. Back to West once again. West chips it in. It's over to Monahan. Monahan in the slot. Shoots. Oh, it's stopped by the defense. St. Catharines breaks it up. It's behind the St. Catharines goal. And it looks like Luke Karam. Karam just backhands it down the ice. And it goes all the way down into the London zone. Now, we've got another offside called at the London line. The penalty is over. St. Catharines did a great job killing that penalty. So now, Curtis Longland loses the face-off, and here's Lombardi. Works his way out of the London zone. Passes it up to number 20, Spencer Watson. Watson works his way into the slot. It's broken up again. And Curtis Longland fighting with him along the boards. St. Catharines working their way out. And it looks like Andy Sturts. And Sturts loses it. Puck's taken again by St. Catharines. Played very chippy here in the second period. Most of it in the neutral zone. Now number 20, Spencer Watson. Watson, oh! Toe save by Pope. They're starting to bang and crash out there. Puck goes into the center ice area. Monticello. Broken up by Sturts. And now Broderick Kelly comes in off the point, lets a shot go, and Taylor Edwards makes the save. London has the puck in behind their own goal. They work it up the side, comes back to the St. Catharines blue line. Sheehan takes it up to Jesse Miller. Miller with Spencer DeWolf. DeWolf in front of the goal. They're fighting for it. Puck's loose. Another save. And Sheehan just fires it back in over the London line, but it's taken over by number 8, Greg Stager. Stager fires it in behind the St. Catharines goal. St. Catharines coming out again. And it's broken up by number 14, Cameron. Here we are back in the London zone, deep in the London end. Now it's chipped up to the St. Catharines, number 12, Shinkleshot. And he loses it to the St. Catharines. And now Hovanesian. A big collision there between Hovanesian and Shinkleshot of the London Nationals. Neither man going down. Okay, London bringing it up over the St. Catharines blue line. Cameron lets shot go for the point, and Pope. He'll hold it there for a face-off.
Located at 244 Ontario Street, $10 in duck bucks. Lucky number 2558. 2558.
Face-off deep in the St. Catharines zone. Darts puts it in behind the net. Goes along the boards, and Johnson Andrews misses it. St. Catharines in behind their own goal, fighting their way out. Hovanesian. Hovanesian to Dubois. Dubois works his way in on the wing. Tries to pass it out in front. It's stopped. He's got the puck again. Works it back in behind the corner. St. Catharines working their way around the London zone. And it's Johnson Andrews to Hovanesian. Hovanesian has it taken away. And back in behind the London net. Billy Ainser. Ainser puts it out to the St. Catharines blue line where it's taken over. St. Catharines will get set again. And here we got Cody Quick. Cody Quick fires on the board, trying to catch Johnson Andrews, but he missed. And Johnson Andrews was going for a change and left his team offside. We'll have a face-off just outside the London zone with 10:36 left to go here in the second period. Shots on goal, 25-14 in favor of the hometown Falcons. Now Monahan works his way out and just puts a shot in on goal. Brad Pope freezes it, and we'll have a face-off deep in the St. Catharines end.
Shoot around the lucky number 2596. 2596.
Teams are getting set. Face-off just to the left of Brad Pope. Puck is dropped. Monahan has it at the point. Monahan fired it in, but it went off of Adam Rosetko. St. Catharines in on goal. Ocean scores! Just like that, the St. Catharines Falcons have a 4-1 lead. Seconds away from the midway point of the game, and St. Catharines Falcons have taken a 3-goal lead. They now lead 4-1. Now the puck goes in behind the St. Catharines net. Brad Pope fires it around Matt Mello. Luke Karam's taken in on the boards. They're fighting for it down there. And the puck is taken out by number 20, Spencer Watson. Watson fights his way, draws it back to the point. It's taken away from him. St. Catharines in on goal. Whoa, what a move. Riley Jacobs shot. What a move. St. Catharines now leads 5-1 on a spectacular goal by Riley Jacobs. He used Luke Karam as a lure and fired the puck past goalie Taylor Edwards. So the fourth goal, the fourth St. Catharines goal was scored by Curtis Longland, assisted Jacobchuk and Karam. And of course, that fifth goal, a spectacular goal. And just like that, London has scored. Well, London isn't ready to throw in the towel just yet. They just went down. It's now 5-2 in favor of the St. Catharines Falcons. Just like that, the goals are coming fast and furious. Quicker than they can announce them, they're going in the net. Okay, from the face-off now, St. Catharines. Broderick Kelly. Kelly works it over the blue line. Okay, Schwartz. Schwartz has it. In behind the net.
Assistant number 6, Jeremy Sheehan. Time of goal, 10-14. Jacob Tuck from Sheehan at 10 minutes 14 seconds. London second goal, scored by number 9, Noah Schwartz. Time of the goal, 10-23. That's Schwartz unassisted at 10 minutes.
So just seconds after St. Catharines made it 5-1, the leading scorer for the London Nationals, number 9, Noah Schwartz, went down, and just like that, popped one behind Brad Pope. It's 5-2. Here comes St. Catharines in on goal. Oh, another save by Taylor Edwards. Face-off will be just to the left of the London National goaltender. St. Catharines. Now it looks like London is making a goaltender change. And now playing goal for the London Nationals, number 30. Here comes St. Catharines in on goal. Aaron Taylor leaves the puck behind the London goal. London working their way out back to the point. Now Sheehan comes in across the London line. Sheehan hangs onto it, puts it in deep, goes to Hovhannisyan. Hovhannisyan works to the top of the circle, takes a shot, and that's a save. Okay. Well, back in goal for London, number 39, Taylor Edwards. Okay, face-off in the London zone. Taken by number 12, Peter Shikachuk. Deep into the St. Catharines zone. St. Catharines fires it out. Hovhannisyan misses the puck. They fight for it along the boards, and it's number 25, Clark West, fires it up over center. Puck goes into the right of Brad Pope. And Johnson Andrews loses it. Clark West fires one in wide of the goal, goes all the way down into the London zone. He's being chased by Ben Dubois. Dubois has it behind the London goal, works his way around to the far side, puts it back behind the London net, where it's taken by number 72, Johnson Andrews. Andrews loses the puck. Here comes London. Number 12, Peter Shikachuk, one more time. Back to Schwartz. Schwartz fires it over, misses Cameron on the far side, and Riley Jacobchuk puts it in behind the London goal. We've got 7 minutes to play here in the second period. London works their way over center. Schwartz has the puck, he fires, oh, just rips it wide of the net. Now St. Catharines, it looks like Sheehan. Karam goes to the net. Oh! Great shot by Matt Mello. And Luke Karam is down. Luke Karam is down. Looks like we've got a high sticking penalty here to London. And it looks like number 7, Jake Razutko, will be going to the sin bin. We'll have to see if Karam was cut or not. No, it's just 2 minutes for high sticking to London's number 7, Adam Razutko. So St. Catharines with a 3-goal lead will go on to the power play. Johnson Andrews at center. Puck goes in on goal. Shot from the point, saved by Taylor. Taylor Edwards all the way back into the St. Catharines zone. Aaron Taylor puts it in behind the net. Taylor fighting for it. And he comes out with it. St. Catharines, number 89, Ben Dubois, taking it along the boards. Dubois again, back to Johnson Andrews. Andrews works his way down into the corner. Back to Sheehan. Sheehan shoots. And that goes just wide of the net. And London clears the puck all the way down into the St. Catharines zone. With 1:10 to go in the penalty, 5:50 left here in the second period. St. Catharines comes over the blue line, is broken up by Noah Schwartz again. Now Curtis Longland fires it deep into the London zone. Jesse Miller chases it. It goes in behind the goal to number 9, Kyle Woodhouse. Woodhouse has it. They battle for it along the boards. Woodhouse over to Sturts. Andy Sturts has it behind the net. Back to Woodhouse. Woodhouse back to the point. Slides over to McEachern. McEachern. He puts it in deep. They come around behind the London goal. Back out to McEachern. McEachern has it to Sturts. Sturts shoots. It goes off the defenseman. And it looks like Cameron will take it and he'll bring it out of his own end. He crosses the St. Catharines blue line. Puck's knocked off his stick. And here's McEachern has it. Coming out over his own blue line. St. Catharines making changes. Looks like Jesse Miller on the far side. Miller takes a shot. Goes wide. Mello has it. Mello back to McEachern. McEachern in deep to Miller. Miller behind the net fighting for it. Mello has it. Mello, McEachern, save. Taylor Edwards makes another big save. They're fighting for it along the board. St. Catharines comes out with it. Back to McEachern. McEachern over to Roderick Kelly. Kelly fires it in, but goes wide of the net. London has it. And number 7, Rizzuto, fires it down to the St. Catharines blue line. The penalty is now over. McEachern has it in behind his own net. He leaves it there for Mello. Mello works his way out. Up to Luke Karam, breaks over the blue line. Karam working it on goal. Karam in behind the goal. They're fighting for it. Here comes London out of their own end now. Darch has it. Darch over the blue line. Just missed on that pass. Now St. Catharines. Rink wide pass to Riley Jacobchuk. Jacobchuk has it. He's all alone. Big shot on goal. Edwards makes another big save. Here comes London one more time. They work over center. In over to St. Catharines blue line. Number 19, Tyler Bryden. Cameron fighting for it down there, and Sheehan comes out with it. St. Catharines, Sheehan over the London blue line. Sheehan still has it. Oh, it's knocked off his stick. And the puck goes deep into the London zone. And Monahan of London just iced the puck. We'll have another face-off with 3:06 left to go in the second period. The face-off will be deep in the London zone. Curtis Longland taking the face-off for the St. Catharines Falcons against Daniel Cameron, the London Nationals. Sheehan and DeRigo on the point. From the face-off, there we go. Back to Sheehan. Sheehan just chips it in behind the London zone. They're fighting for it in the corner. And it looks like Curtis Longland comes out with it. Longland fires it back into the corner to Woodhouse. Woodhouse in behind the London goal, works his way around. Chips it back behind the net to Longland. Longland has it. Longland works his way in front of the goal. Shoots. And Taylor Edwards makes a save, and now we've got all kinds of pushing and shoving. It looks like the goalie's at the bottom of the pile. Hopefully cooler heads will prevail. The net has been shoved all the way back to the boards. So far, the referee hasn't called any penalties. We've got 2:39 left to go here in the second period. The score, St. Catharines Falcons 5, London Nationals 2. Shots on goal in favor of the St. Catharines Falcons 35-17. Face off deep in the London zone. And we got Thomas Manchella facing off against Johnson Andrews. Manchella wins it. It goes back behind the London zone. Off the boards, up over it. And looks like we're going to have another icing here. With 2:31 to play, we'll have another face-off deep in the London zone. Dubois, Andrews, and Hovanesian up front for St. Catharines. On the point, we got Dorigo and Sheehan. St. Catharines captain number 44, Kenny Bradford, has yet to return after being hurt late in the first period. London fires the puck down in the zone. There's a race for the puck, and Dorigo won that race. And number 27 for the London Nationals, Ian McDonald, went heavily into the boards. Now the puck is back down behind the London goal. And Scott Lombardi works his way out. Lombardi still has it at center, and he just gets over center, fires the puck in, and London changes. Oh, Johnson Andrews just missed that lead pass, but that's going to be an icing against St. Catharines. The puck will go all the way back into the St. Catharines zone. We've got 1:50 left to go in the second period here at the Jack Gatecliff Arena. This game is being brought to you by the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League and Art Pro HD. Face off in the St. Catharines zone. Sheehan has it behind his own end. He fires it up along the boards to Johnson Andrews. Andrews over to Ben Dubois. Dubois crosses the center ice line, shoots it in behind the London goal. Now taking over, Eric Chimino for London fires it into the St. Catharines zone. St. Catharines shoots it out, and it looks like we're going to have another icing here against St. Catharines. With 1:29 to go here in the second period. Face-off will be just to the left of Brad Pope, the St. Catharines goaltender. Number 24, Paul Hopkins for the Nationals against Jesse Miller of the Falcons. Hopkins wins it. We've got a high sticking penalty here to the London Nationals. It looks like number 96, Aaron Darch. So Darch goes off for high sticking with 1:23 left to go in the second period. London can ill afford another power play goal by the St. Catharines Falcons. They don't want to go to the dressing room down 4 goals. From the face-off, Jacobs Chuck loses the draw. London fire it down in behind Brad Pope. Pope has it. And he moves it over to Mello. Mello has it. He slides it over to Sheehan. Sheehan back to Mello. Mello crosses the blue line with a little bit of speed. He's got Jacobs Chuck with him and Luke Karam. Puck's left behind the net. Jacobs Chuck and Karam.
London penalty number 96, Aaron Darch.
Karam slides it over to McEachern. McEachern shoots wide. Back to Sheehan. Sheehan back to McEachern. McEachern at the blue line over to Sheehan. Sheehan down low to Jacobs Chuck. Jacobs Chuck back to Sheehan. Sheehan to Jacobs Chuck. Jacobs Chuck into the slot, shoots. Another nice save by Taylor Edwards, who's certainly been the busier of the 2 goaltenders here this evening. We got 30 seconds to go in the second period. Played deep in the zone. Mello shoots. Oh, and Jacobs Chuck just missed that pass from Mello. McEachern has it now. Back at the blue line. McEachern fires it in the slot. Sheehan holds the puck in at the point. 15 seconds to go. St. Catharines on the power play. They work it around. Back to Sheehan at the point. Sheehan to Jacobs Chuck, and another save by Taylor Edwards. That's 38 shots on goal now by the St. Catharines Falcons. The London Nationals goaltender has certainly had the lion's share of the work here this evening. We've got 4.9 seconds to go in the second period. St. Catharines leading 5-2 from the face-off. Dubois loses the face-off and is taken by Lombardi. Lombardi works it around the boards and shoots it down the ice, and that's the end of the second period. At the end of 2 periods of play, the score, the St. Catharines Falcons 5, the London Nationals 2. I'll be back to call the third period play in just a little bit. Game 1, Sutherland Cup round robin, featuring the visiting London Nationals and the hometown St. Catharines Falcons. To start the third period, the Falcons have a 3-goal lead. They're up 5-2. And London will start the period off shorthanded. Shots on goal to this point by St. Catharines 39, London just 17. So far, this could be a very costly lead for the St. Catharines Falcons. Their captain, number 44, Kenny Bradford, was injured in the first period and has not returned. Since then, number 6, Jimmy Sheehan, and 25, Dan McEachern have done the load on the defense for the St. Catharines Falcons, and right now that's McEachern in behind his own goal. McEachern, he brings it out over the blue line, over center ice, fires it in deep. Now it's in the corner. Johnson Andrews knocks his man down. Hovhannissian has the puck in his slot, shoots. Oh! Hovhannissian just tipped off the goalpost. Puck goes back to the point to Sheehan. Sheehan works his way into the middle. They crisscross, him and McEachern. Sheehan puts the puck down to the top of the circle, back to the point. Sheehan shoots. And the save is made. It was deflected in front, and Taylor Edwards manages to find the puck and hang on. The penalty is over, with 19:18 remaining in the third period. It's now 5-on-5 hockey, and time for London to try and work their way back into this game. Puck goes in behind the London zone. Jacobs Chuck takes his man into the boards. And now Cameron works his way over the blue line. Cameron comes in, shoots it out, goes off McEachern's shin pad. Puck's behind the net, comes out to the point. London shoots, scores! And just like that, the London Nationals are back in the game. At 1:04 of the third period, London has come to within 2 goals. The score now 5-3 St. Catharines. And yes, sirree, folks, we have a hockey game. From the face-off, St. Cat, oh, it's fired in over top of the glass by Andrew Derrigo. The face-off will come all the way back down to the center ice area. Just outside the St. Catharines blue line. Curtis Longland slides it back to his own defense. Puck comes to Andrew Sturts. Sturts to Curtis Longland. Longland shoots. Oh, another big save by the London goaltender. Shots on goal right now are 40-18 in favor of the St. Catharines Falcons. And there's another shot by Derrigo from the point, goes wide. Longland fires it in back to Derrigo. Woodhouse to Sturts. Sturts has it, works his way around the face-off circle, fires it, and goalie Taylor Edwards hangs on. We'll have another face-off in the London zone.
1 minute and 4 seconds.
So with 18-14 remaining in the third, London Nationals now trail by just 2 goals. Face-off deep in the London zone. Monahan fires it around back behind his net. Cameron passes it over to Schwartz. Schwartz takes a shot, and Pope just kicks that one aside. Back to the point, fired in behind the St. Catharines goal. Now And it's Aaron Taylor who fires it off the boards out to center. Cameron has the puck. And it's broken up by St. Catharines. Spencer DeWolf. DeWolf in deep. Jesse Miller takes it behind the goal. It's taken away back to McEachern at the point. McEachern has it. McEachern puts it over to Aaron Taylor. Taylor fires. There's a save. Back to Taylor again, and here comes London. Cameron with Schwartz with him. Goes over the blue line. Cameron to the far side. Goes behind the net. McEachern fires it along the boards. Goes back. London shoots it back in again, and now Jesse Miller gets it out to center ice. It goes back, fired back into the St. Catharines zone. McEachern. It goes out, and Ben Dubois chips it into the London zone, but from the wrong side of center. Faceoff will come all the way back to the St. Catharines zone with 17:07 left to play. All of a sudden, the London fans have come to life. They're making a little bit of noise. We have a little more atmosphere here in the Jack Gatecliff Arena. Puck deep in the St. Catharines zone. St. Catharines chip it out over center. Across the blue line, Hovanesian gives chase. Once again, Paul Hopkins works his way in deep. Back to Jonathan Sims. Sims fires it. Goes out in front of the net. And Hovanesian has it. Hovanesian just chips it out over the blue line. Johnson Andrews slides it a little deeper in behind the London goal. Puck deep in the London zone. As he works his way out, it's Greg Stager. Stager fires it into the St. Catharines zone, where it's taken over by Dorigo. Dorigo has it. He puts it back over to Broderick Kelly. Kelly behind his own goal. He leaves it there. St. Catharines tipped by Raleigh Jacobs-Chuck, and we have another icing. They've just announced the attendance for tonight's game. The paid attendance, 899. Face-off deep in the St. Catharines zone. And Paul Hopkins pushes it in behind the St. Catharines net where Mello takes over. Mello, puck's chipped out, and Mello has it at center. He fires it in deep into the London zone. Luke Karam gives chase. They go behind the net. Puck comes out. Oh! Tyler Bryden was breaking in across the St. Catharines blue line, and he was just taking Andrew Dorigo, just flattened him, and we've got an interference penalty with 15:48 to go. The London Nationals will have a chance to climb to within one goal as they go on the power play. Daniel Cameron on the face-up, and the puck goes all the way down to the London goal. Taylor Edwards has it, and he leaves it there for Darch. Aaron Darch working his way out. He slides the puck forward, and St. Catharines, it looks like Johnson Andrews chips it into the London zone. Darch has it again. Aaron Darch works his way over the blue line. He passes it to Bryden. Bryden has it, goes over into the St. Catharines zone, fires it behind the net, goes around the other side to Cameron. Cameron back to the point to Darch. Darch back to Cameron. Cameron shoots it, goes off a leg. Cameron has it again. Cameron in deep. Puck goes chipped back to Darch at the point. Darch has it. And now McEachern fighting with Cameron. McEachern chips it over the blue line where Aaron Darch has it. Darch over to Schwartz. Schwartz to Hopkins, and it's offside. Play was called offside as number 12, Peter Shinkelschok, had just stepped off the bench. We've got 1 minute and 1 second left to go in the penalty. Face-off just outside the St. Catharines blue line. It's taken by West. West hands it over to Lombardi. Lombardi shoots it in behind the St. Catharines goal where Sheehan takes over. Sheehan takes it and fires it out to center ice. Hovanesian pushes his man, gives chase. West has it, chips it into the St. Catharines zone where it just fired right back out again and down behind the London goal. Aaron Taylor leaves it there for Lombardi. Lombardi has it, works his way up to the blue line. Lombardi over center, fires it in deep. And Brad Pope will hang on for the face-off, which will come just to the left of the St. Catharines goaltender with 26 seconds left to go in the power play. 14-14 to go in the third period. St. Catharines leads London by a score of 5-3. Now it looks like Daniel Cameron will take the face-off from the London Nationals deep in the St. Catharines zone. And he wins it. It goes back to Aaron Darts. Darts shoots just wide of the goal. Puck goes in behind the St. Catharines net. Fired out to the point. Darts, he shoots it, but it goes off the pad of Hovhannisyan. Ben Dubois gives chase. Back to the point to Monahan. Monahan over to Darts. Darts shoots. And a big save by Brad Pope, and he hangs on. We'll have another face-off deep in the St. Catharines zone. We got 6 seconds left to go in the power play. 13:54 to go here in the third period. Since London scored the third goal, all of a sudden fans on both sides are getting a little noisier here at the Jack Gatecliff as St. Catharines fires the puck all the way down the ice, and that'll kill off the penalty. Teams are now 5-on-5 with 13:44 to go here in the third period. Schwartz fires it up the center, and it's fired right back into the London zone. Puck down deep in the London zone. Broken up again by St. Catharines. Aaron Taylor to Jesse Miller, and Miller just fires the puck. St. Catharines seems quite content to just keep killing off that clock, fire the puck in, and wait for their chances when they come. Miller in deep, forechecking. London, whoa, big hit. Aaron Taylor takes out Rzutko, and the puck goes back into the London zone. Jesse Miller gives chase. Puck goes down around the boards, and it looks like Cameron breaks it. Pass, Aaron Taylor in on a breakaway. He stole the puck, shoots, and a big save. Whoa, what a huge save by Taylor Edwards to keep his team in the game. Puck goes down in front. Miller fighting for it. It goes behind the net. And now we got a penalty coming for looks like a slashing and a hooking penalty. I'm not sure who's, it looks like London, number 7, Adam Rzutko, is going out for slashing. And we're still waiting to see who's going in the box for the St. Catharines Falcons. It looks like Jesse Miller got an unsportsmanlike penalty. So the teams will remain at full strength, 5-on-5, with 12:45 to go here in the third period. Face-off just to the right of the London goaltender, Curtis Longland. Longland faces off against Manchella. Manchella wins the draw. Here comes London over center, and Sims chips it into his own bench. Face-off will come back to the center ice area. Okay, looks like the face-off's going to be just outside the London blue line. Longland and Manchella. Again, Manchella wins the draw. Puck goes over to Spencer Watson. Watson keeps it in deep. London has it, and Sheehan takes over behind his own net. Sheehan carrying the puck, goes back. Puck stolen. Oh, what a chance by London. There's a score! London Nationals have scored to make it 5-4. And just like that, we've got a one-goal hockey game with 12:14 remaining. On a scramble in front of the St. Catharines net, and just like that, we've got a one-goal game. There's another shot in on goal by London. The London fans have come to life, but here comes Luke Karam. Karam over the blue line, passes it in front, and nobody can get to it. Puck goes back to the center ice area where McEachern takes it and fires it right back in behind the London goal. Riley Jacobchuk takes his man into the boards, and here they come. Number 19, Bryden, over the blue line, puts it in behind the St. Catharines goal where Brad Pope fires it up off the glass. Back to the point to Monahan. Oh, they poke away at it. Number 24, Paul Hopkins, was right on the doorstep trying to shovel it in. Brad Pope holds his ground. So Watson from Meticella and Lombardi have given the London Nationals reason to hope. They're only one goal down with lots of time remaining. Puck in behind the London goal now. They fight for it. Hovanesian in along the boards to Johnson Andrews. Andrews just chips it in behind the goal. Ben DuBois wakes his way in there, and London takes over. Here they come over the blue line, Schwartz. Schwartz has it taken away from him, and Johnson Andrews works his way in on goal. And Hovanesian just couldn't get a stick on it. Cameron fires it in back behind the St. Catharines goal where Brad Pope takes it, and it goes off the stick into the crowd. Well, we'll have a face-off with 10:45 left in the third, just outside the St. Catharines blue line. And now the puck is fired into the London zone.
15184. 15184. If you have that ticket, please report behind the
Okay, from the face-off, Miller chips it in behind the London zone where London take over, coming out of their own zone now. Over center, number 17, Jonathan Sims, and Sims loses it. Here comes St. Catharines. Number 43, Spencer DeWolf, fires it in back of the goal where it comes around to number 17, Jonathan Sims. There's a shot on goal. And London takes over. They just chip it out into the center ice zone where St. Catharines. The teams both look a little tentative right now. Now here comes London. Number 25, Clark West. It's broken up by Curtis Longland, who just fires it right back into the London zone where Monahan puts it back behind his own goal. Puck goes over to Spencer Watson. Watson, he's got it, he slides it over. And Schwartz fired it all the way around, goes all the way back down to his own zone. London takes over in their own end. They chip it out to Kyle Woodhouse of St. Catharines, who just fires it right back in again. Here they come out one more time. Luke Karam misses his man. London has it. And here comes Luke Karam. He's got the puck deep in the London zone. He's got Curtis Longland trailing. Puck goes all the way around the boards to McEachern. McEachern takes it from the point, and he fires it, and it's broken up. Schwartz had it, only to have it broken up again by number 4, Broderick Kelly of the Falcons, who just fires it right back into St. Catharines. Seems very content to keep firing that puck deep into the London zone every chance they get. Karam steals the puck, shoots, and it goes off number 7, Adam Rajewsko, up into the netting. We'll have another face-off deep in the London zone.
15184. If you have that ticket, please report behind the timer's box.
With 8:34 to go here in the third period. St. Catharines hanging on to one goal lead. Sheehan fires the puck. Big save. Down in front. And here comes Aaron Darch. Breaks it over center and fires it in behind the St. Catharines goal. Puck sit along the boards. Looks like we've got an offside called here. teams changing quite frequently. Once again, if you've just joined us, St. Catharines captain, number 44, Kenny Bradford, was injured in the first period and has yet to return to the game. We hope it's nothing serious.
Located in the Newman Diner Plaza on Martindale Road is your one-stop shop for your copying and printing services.
8:12 left to go in the third period. Face-off deep in the St. Catharines zone. Paul Hopkins, he loses the draw. St. Catharines, they just fire it out over the blue line and give chase. And here's Ben Dubois deep in the London zone. He's got it along the boards, puts it up front. Johnson Andrews shoots, he scores! What a shot, Johnson Andrews at 7:57 from Ben Dubois. What a huge goal that was. Well, Johnson Andrews was awarded the MVP for the Golden Horseshoe playoffs, and after seeing that goal, you know why. He just ripped it right in the top shelf. And St. Catharines once again has a 2-goal lead with 7:49 to go here in the third period. Andrews once again fires the puck in behind the London goal, where goaltender Taylor Edwards just fires it up along the glass. It goes into the netting, and we'll have another face-off deep in the London zone. St. Catharines changing. They now send out Jesse Miller with Aaron Taylor and Spencer DeWolf. London got the puck deep in their own end. Monahan has it now. Monahan up the middle to Hopkins. Hopkins gets over the blue line and fires it in deep behind the St. Catharines goal. The Falcons take over. Taylor fires it off the glass. We got a race for it. Jesse Miller. And Clark West has to get to Aaron Taylor, now has it down along the boards. Miller goes behind the net. Monahan fires it back along the boards. St. Catharines Woodhouse. Woodhouse. He chips it in behind the net. St. Catharines now moving around in the zone. Fire Monahan at the point. Curtis Longland now in behind the net to Woodhouse. Woodhouse back to the point. McEachern fires it in behind the net again. Out front, they score! Kyle Woodhouse. And once again, the St. Catharines Falcons have a 3-goal lead. What a change in events. Just when it looked like London was back in the game and had the Falcons on their heels, 2 quick goals, and with 6:27 left remaining in the third period, the Falcons now enjoy a 7-4 lead. Jake Patterson is now playing goal for the London Nationals. With 46 shots on goal, one could hardly blame Taylor Edwards for the fate of the London Nationals. Puck now down deep in the London zone. They chip it out. Now Jacobchuk has it. He goes deep into the St. Catharines zone where McEachern fires it around the boards. Jacobchuk tried to hit Karam with a pass. It's broken up. Here come the Falcons. Oh! What a beautiful passing play. Well, with 5:41 to go, St. Catharines scores their 8th goal in the game to take a 4-goal lead. shot, got his second of the game on a beautiful passing play to give the Falcons a 4-goal lead with just over 5 minutes left to play here in the third period. Now Johnson Andrews fires the puck in behind the goal. Andrews comes in over the blue line, he shoots. Pad save. What a change in momentum a couple minutes can make. Just a couple minutes ago, London had clawed their way back to within 1 goal of the Falcons. Looked like they had the Falcons on their heels, and now all of a sudden a 3-goal eruption, and the Falcons enjoy a 4-goal lead with 5:01 left to go here in the third period. Okay. Steger fires it in from center, in behind the St. Catharines goal where the Falcons take over. Puck comes up now. That looks like it's going to be an icing against St. Catharines. So we'll bring it all the way back and do it one more time. 4:49 left to go. St. Catharines 8, London 4. The London fans who just a few moments ago were up and cheering on their feet have ever so quickly been subdued. We've got another penalty coming. We've got another St. Catharines Falcons down. There's a checking from behind call being made.
Hey, Ferguson at the door!
It looks like number 7, Adam Rzutko, is given a checking from behind penalty. It's only, the only thing to decide is whether it's a 2 or a 5-minute penalty. St. Catharines has already lost their captain in this game. Kenny Bradford was injured in the first period and has yet to return. Well, the good news is it looks like Spencer DeWolf is leaving, but he's on his own steam. But he is going to the St. Catharines dressing room. Hopefully it's only a precaution. Rzutko of the Nationals gets 2 minutes for checking from behind and a game misconduct. With under 10 minutes to go, it'll mean he'll miss the next game of the round robin. From the face-off now, puck goes out of board. Sheehan holds it in at the blue line. Sheehan chips it up, and Dubois has it. Dubois sends it over to number 4, Broderick Kelly. Kelly back to Sheehan. Sheehan has it. Back to Kelly. They move it around. There's a shot. And Sheehan chips it in. It looks like Dubois now. Dubois has it at the top of the circle. Dubois back to Sheehan. Sheehan back to Dubois. Dubois slides it over to the far side to Kelly. Kelly moves it around to Sheehan. They're just playing back and forth to the blue line into Dubois. Dubois doesn't know where it is. It hit his skate. He didn't know where it was. And a very alert Eric Chimino fires the puck down into the St. Catharines zone. St. Catharines coming out now. Johnson Andrews has it. Andrews back to Kelly. Kelly works his way in deep back to Curtis Longland. Longland just leaves it behind the net. Cameron from the London Nationals was floating back by the blue line and almost stole that puck. Schwartz moves in on Brad Pope, but Pope just fires it around the boards where Aaron Taylor has it. Taylor chips it up, and it goes in behind the London net. Puck now in along the boards, fighting for it. Kyle Woodhouse goes in behind the net, back to the point to Dorigo. Dorigo over to the far side. And that pass for Taylor went astray. In behind the goal once more, it's Woodhouse. Woodhouse works it around, back to DeRigo. DeRigo to Taylor, Aaron Taylor. Back to Woodhouse. Woodhouse, back to DeRigo. DeRigo. Back. And they move back in again behind the London goal. It looks like Andy Sturts has it. Sturts chips it in. Behind the net to Woodhouse. Woodhouse. Woodhouse comes out. And they score. Andy Sturts gets one to make it 9-4. And with that, a lot of the fans are now up and leaving. Sturts with 2:21 to ring. The score, St. Catharines Falcons 9, the London Nationals 4. Sturts, a bit of a Cinderella story, came from the last place Buffalo Blades, traded midway through the season to St. Catharines, went on to win Rookie of the Year for the Golden Horseshoe, and now playing in the Sutherland Cup round robin, and he gets a goal. Well, we got 2 minutes to go in the third period. St. Catharines with a 5-goal lead. Shots on goal now, 49-25 in favor of the Falcons. Luke Karam now. Jacobs shot down to Mello. Mello tries to pass it out front to Karam. Now St. Catharines, Mello chips it off Jacobs Chuck. Jacobs Chuck just lets the puck slide in behind the London goal and heads for the bench for a change. London coming out of their own end now. Bryden fires it in. Goes behind the net, and the Falcons just fired around. They move it out, and Curtis Longland fires it in behind the London zone. We got 1:05 to play here in the third period. Coming out of his own end is Lombardi. London in. They fight for it in the corner. Jesse Miller has it, takes it behind his own zone, in behind his own net, and they just chip it out over the blue line. London fire it back into the St. Catharines zone. We've got 35 seconds left to go. Jacobs Chuck over to Longland. Longland just killing off the clock, skates in behind his own net, works his way out now, fires it off the boards to Jesse Miller. Miller misses it, but the London player, number 13, Eric Chimino, fell down. Now, Hovanesian takes his man into the boards. And with 10 seconds to go, the puck is behind the St. Catharines goal. It looks like that's where it's going to end, folks. The final score here at the Jack Gatecliff Arena, St. Catharines Falcons 9, the London Nationals 4. St. Catharines draws first blood in this round robin. There's Richard Vanderhaeghe saying, have a good night from the Jack Gatecliff Arena, and thanks to the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League and Art Pro HD.